Proudest moment of my life. 1 knee in the dust, king's sword on my shoulder, listening to the words, "In the name of the warrior, I charge you to be brave."
In the name of the warrior, I charge you to be brave. In the name of the Father, I charge you to be just. In the name of the Mother, I charge you to defend the innocent. Arise. A knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
I was squire to Sir Arlen of Pennytree. He charged me to be a good knight, to defend the weak and the innocent, and I swore that I would.
Hey, loved it. Guys, please welcome my my immortal co-host on this great show, the capable gentleman. How you
What's
doing,
the good
man?
word? Oh, I'm doing good. Doing good. Episode 1 is in. Titled the Hedge Knight.
Absolutely.
Game of Thrones is back.
So thoughts? What'd you think?
I'm gonna have to say it was slow.
Yes. It's absolutely a slow burn.
I don't want to say disappointed because I enjoyed it. I think they're doing really well with the character development. I didn't read these stories. If you caught our kickoff show last week, I did not read the stories. I don't know who these people are. I don't know what's going on. There was a lot of character development, but you know, it's Game of Thrones though. So in Game of Thrones, the first episode, we got an execution by Ned Stark, and then we got inappropriate relationships between brother and sister, and then they're throwing a kid off the tower, and like, oh man, what the heck? What's all this? And then House of the Dragon, we've got Daemon Targaryen cutting body parts off as the head of the Kingsguard, and then you've got a forced C-section. So it's like all this stuff, and then we get to Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and we got a guy pooping. I mean, like that's
yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. And not only was he just pooping, but like at the iconic theme, the Game of Thrones theme, all of a sudden he's got the Rhea, and it's like, dude, what's going on here? So I didn't like that. I was laughing because it's poop. You know, everybody laughs.
Yeah, everyone laughs.
But I'm just kind of like, what are they doing? And then the pace of it, you know, just not what I'm used to seeing. But I keep hearing that even it was coming out over social media, like, stay with it. You're gonna love it. It's all coming. So, but I enjoyed it. I really like the characters so far. It was just slow pace for me. What about you? Since you read the stories.
So let me hit this real quick. Breezy's comment collectible says for 199, we are so excited. We are back. We are back in this wonderful, crazy, dark, evil world of Westeros that George R.R. Martin made. And I do genuinely believe it's one of the better fantasy worlds that's been created in the last, 40 or 50 years. there's so much awesomeness in Game of Thrones, and there's some pretty good awesomeness in House of the Dragon. And I think one of the things that we all want, and where I think, honestly, for me, that I still crave to this day, is that feeling of that shock and awe that Game of Thrones provided.
Yeah.
And you are 100% correct. Slow burn.
Yeah.
To the point that I was honestly slightly worried Saturday, because we were getting interviews from Ira Parker that it just kept getting plastered on Twitter. Stay with us. Stay with us. It's a slow burn. We get it. We're not throwing a kid. And they made reference to Jamie throwing or pushing Bran off the tower and saying, look, we're not killing it. We're not trying to kill a kid in the very first episode, but stick with us. Yeah. And like you said, having read it, I'm right there with them. It is a very slow burn at the beginning. I think what I suspect is we're going to get the next episode and we're going to go, oh, it's a little Game of Thronesy.
Okay.
And then there's going to be 2 episodes of build up.
So I have a confession.
Mm-hmm.
So confession. This is so unlike me, but it was everything I could do because of the pace.
Mm-hmm.
I did not watch the previews for next week. I held off. I didn't even watch the behind the scenes snippet, like where they talk to the characters.
I never do. Yeah.
I didn't. I just was like, you know what? I'm going to save this. Talk to Kings.
So,
yet Breezy corrected me. Damon was on the City Watch, not the King's Guard. I misspoke. I'm sorry.
That slide.
Didn't mean to offend the Westeroses.
Yeah. So I having read it, I saw where everything was going. But if you have not read the story, you don't know what Ashford Meadows is. Don't watch the trailers. Go in being excited. It's 6 weeks. The stakes are not as big as Game of Thrones. We don't need those, weeks of going, hoo. Just watch the show. I promise you, you're gonna be happy you did.
Okay. I can keep going with that then.
But the thing that really kind of sucked about it was they showed a lot in that first. So what they did was they did like this coming up on the. I hear myself.
I hear you, but
no, okay. They did like this coming up on the. I'm sorry, this is driving me bats. Real professional stream. I don't know. I'll get over it. They did like this coming up on the show, and then they did the behind the scenes type thing.
Yeah,
and then they did a trailer for the next episode. If you want to watch the trailer, go ahead. It'll be on Twitter after, but try to stay away from as many spoilers as possible.
Okay.
Because Lee, I told you this. What we're gonna see in episode 5, I'm assuming, based off of the history of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, is what is the number one thing I've said I want to see on TV.
Yeah.
Since I read the books, and it is my opinion. If they do it right, it will be as big as the Battle of the Bastards. You will walk away going, holy crap.
That's okay.
I know.
That is expectations out there, man.
So I see that you got right there the lineage of the Targaryens.
Yep.
And
I always have this on the ready.
You need to do, and all of y'all need to do, I'll give you a little bit of homework. It's not really going to spoil anything. You need to study and you need to know those names because they're going to be really important. And you don't want to go into, don't look up what happened to them. Just know the names.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to sit there and go, hang on a second, which one is he? Because when things start kicking off, you're going to want to know, okay, this is what this means or this is what that means. You don't want to have to pause and go pull out your encyclopedia.
Now, do they? Is it so? Sometimes it gets confusing because there's 10 Aegons.
Yeah.
So,
No.
I mean, are they referring to Aegon with a number or with a nickname, like the Conqueror?
So so Aegon the First will most likely always be the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Egg is probably always going to be Egg. So you're probably not going to be confused by. I also don't believe, and I've got mine here as well. I don't believe there's another Aegon that would be being discussed during all of this. They might reach back and talk about like Aegon the Fourth, which is never mind. I don't want to spoil that.
Aegon the Fourth.
Aegon the Fourth. So the king in House of the Dragon is Aegon the Third.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll talk about the fourth. They might talk about the third, but they'd probably call him the Unlucky, which is the little nickname he had.
I thought King in the House of the Dragon is Aegon the Second.
No, I'm pretty sure he's the.
He married Helena, right? His sister.
Oh, I'm off a generation. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Aegon the Second. They could talk about. I don't think they'll talk about the second. They could talk about the third. If they talk about the third or the fourth, they'll use their nicknames because they'll want to make sure that they don't confuse us with any of the other Aegons.
Yeah. So Aegon the Third is the Unlucky, Aegon the Unlucky, and the fourth is Aegon the Unworthy.
Yeah, and then Egg is the Unlikely.
The fifth is the Unlikely. Yeah.
But yeah, during this period, let's call it 20 years plus or minus, there shouldn't be another Aegon. So unless they are going to history, they won't be talking about another Aegon. But I'm sorry, what was your question? I forgot it.
Did I ask a question?
Yeah, you asked about like the
you said
names.
The question was, were they going to use the nicknames? Or give us numbers? Are they going to be confusing to,
So Egg is the only one
follow around because there's so many Aegons and Aemons and.
Mm-hmm. So the thing that we're kind of lucky about right now is we're dealing with Darren, Arian, and Maekar. Those are the Targaryens we're dealing with, and we haven't had one of those yet. Yeah. So there shouldn't be. We should kind of be able to figure out who's who. Darren was the first Targaryen you met. Actually, technically the second. So let's dive into the show.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
So
we have pooping.
Yeah. So we have now. It's funny because. If you read the book, it works because there's a line in the book where the narrator talks about how Dunk is hearing the hero's music in his head, thinking about all the great stuff he's going to do now. And it scares him so much that his insides turn to water. So it works like that. Yeah, we get it like that. You're actually in kind of a weird way. You're lifting up. What's the name again?
Dunk?
No. The composer.
Oh, Ramin Djawadi.
Yeah, you're kind of lifting up Ramin Djawadi's theme because it is the hero's song.
Yeah. This is
how
I took it. But yeah, this is how I took it. As somebody who didn't read the books, I'm watching it, and all of a sudden. There's he's burying Sir Arlen, and then they have some flashbacks. He's like, "You didn't hit me all that too much, except when I deserved it." And then they show the flashbacks of him, just being abused. And he's burying him. He's like, "I would leave you your sword, but it's just gonna rust anyway." And then you start hearing, he's like, "All right, what do I do? There's a tournament here. I can go there and I can do this, that, whatever." And then you start hearing the music and it's like, all right, I didn't know we were getting the iconic theme song.
About that.
We talked about it last week.
Get that.
And here it is. Okay, and then
Yeah,
he's like
and then-
he's doodling everywhere. And so
I
at
can't
first I was like,
believe-
they're crapping all over the song. Did they have a falling out
Yeah.
with Ramin Djawadi and they're sticking it to him, or what's happening?
I can't believe we saw it. I thought we were just gonna get the top shot and like groaning,
Right, and the sound effects.
and then they did it, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Then it's a profile, and it's just
Yeah. Also, okay, we're jumping a little ahead here, but I didn't need to see Dunk's ass as much as we saw it. Like, that was way too much, guys. Peter, what are you doing, man?
There was a lot of man booty.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's a big dude. Like, he worked out.
Yeah, well, and Clafley is already like, I think 6'3". And let's see. Peter Clafley, he's 6'5".
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, he's definitely ended up being better just in that one episode than Jacob Elordi would have been. Jacob was the other guy that I was kind of thinking might get it because he's in Euphoria. So I figured HBO might go with a guy that they already know.
Okay.
But I think Dunk has, I mean, Peter Clafley has just crushed Dunk's role. He's doing a really good job so far.
Now, I also am one because there's so much detail and information in the dialogue, and the names are hard enough to follow. They've got all these different accents.
Yep.
I have to watch with subtitles.
Yeah. Well, and then that's fine. I think the worst thing about for a lot of people who just watch Game of Thrones, or maybe honestly just watch Game of Thrones and House of Dragon, we're dealing with houses with the exception of Targaryen, and I think we have one more Baratheon that we're going to meet. I can't really remember.
And that was we're definitely jumping ahead, but that was another thing I was a little shocked at is Baratheon. But we should probably go back and like kind of walk through the episode. We'll pick it up from the poop.
Yeah, pick up from the poop. Yeah, absolutely.
So where is he right now? Where is this funeral, this burial taking place?
Because that is, I've said it before, that is probably my favorite website in the world, is the interactive map of Westeros.
Yeah, pull that up. I'm dying to know how many adventures he goes on with Egg, and this is like the first one. So I'm wondering, where does he start, and where is he making his way to for this tourney? I guess he decided he's going to enter a tournament.
So I can't zoom in more. So this is where Ashford is right here.
Okay.
And he doesn't travel more than about a day, maybe a day and a half. So Arlen's buried right around here.
Okay, so he's buried outside of Ashford.
They're not very far from Ashford when he buries him.
And where's the tournament that he's heading?
At Ashford.
It's in Ashford. Okay, so he's just outside of town.
Meadows. Yeah.
And making his way in.
Remember, we see him like coming into the area and he sees the castle. Yeah. So it's on top of that ridge. So that's where Ashford is.
Okay.
So this whole thing takes place, and that's going to be something that, with the exception of flashbacks, we're going to have to deal with, as we're so used to, like Game of Thrones would have an episode that would have 20 minutes up here at Castle Black. It would have another 20 minutes down at King's Landing. Then you'd see Daenerys over here at the Red Waste.
And they never really
show is taking place right here.
And unless you had a map, you never really. I don't know if they did a great job of putting it into perspective where those locations were in Westeros.
Why the people behind the opening for Game of Thrones, they wanted it to be a globe, so that you could see where you started up here at the wall, and then you ended up in Winterfell for a little bit, and then you came down here to King's Landing, and then went over to Astapor.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that they felt was really important to be able to explain the world to everybody. But this website is a beautiful companion tool for anyone watching or reading these stories. But so everything takes place right here.
Okay. Not too long of a journey.
Yeah, no, it's he buries him probably, my guess would be about midday, and then gets to the inn where he meets Egg. And so let's start with that. What do you think of Egg? What do you think of the kid?
I thought he seems so cool. I really liked Egg. I'm looking forward to the dynamic between them two.
Yep.
What I couldn't figure out is he met Egg. He told him to like take care of the horses or something like that. And then he goes into the tavern or the inn or whatever it was. And the lady was like, "Oh, is my son out there? Did you see my son?" So I'm like, well, wait a minute. Is she talking about Egg or is she referring to somebody else? And Egg just kind of happened to be there. Is Egg on this trek? Is he on this journey just kind of wandering around as well? Or was he actually working at this inn or tavern or wherever he's at?
So he was being escorted by what's his face? That was the guy in the bar was I can tell you in just a sec.
The drunk guy that started yelling at people when he kind of woke up.
Darren. That's Darren Targaryen. So Darren's the second Targaryen we meet in this show. He's a big old drunk. That's all he's known for. His nickname is the Drunken. He's Darren the Drunken Targaryen.
Wow.
So that's remember the phrase, when a Targaryen is born, the gods flip a coin.
Yep.
Darren is the one where it landed on the side, and they were just like, "Oh, well, we'll just make him incompetent." So he's just a drunk. To my recollection, I can't remember him doing anything.
So he was accompanying Egg to where?
Yeah, I think to Ashford.
Okay.
I don't have that. I don't know. I don't even know if it tells you in the story where he was originally going. Maybe later on we find out. But
then in the episode, if I recall, Egg asks Dunk to accompany him.
Egg's hard-headed. He doesn't really care what he's supposed to do. He just says, "You know what? This is kind of what I want to do. Hey, can I join you?"
He's so witty. I mean, he's like he'll talk smack to you, doesn't care, and I really liked it. I liked his performance there.
So, what did you think of? And we're kind of jumping a little bit. What did you think of like the progression of the episode from start to finish? Like, do you think it flowed well?
Definitely. It was just it flowed. It was just a slow pace, and like we just determined that he really wasn't even traveling far, but it took him pretty much all episode to get into Ashford and start trying to work this tournament thing, which we'll get into. But there was this really, like, he and Egg weren't together during the whole episode. They kind of ran into each other, and Egg was like, "Come on, I want to hang around with you," or whatever. And he's like, "But I'm a knight. I'm a big tough guy," even though he's kind of he's like I said, in the green room, he was kind of clumsy. He's like banging his head on the on stuff. Doesn't seem to be very bright. But they kept running into each other, so you could tell like they're gonna team up somehow.
Yeah,
they're gonna team up.
So that is I think one of the interesting things, having read it. It does not flow the same way in the book as it does in the show. There's a lot of stuff they take that's on that second day. It's actually after Egg becomes a squire. So like meeting the Fossaways was after Egg became a squire. Going to meet with the game master was after Egg became a squire.
Okay, so
but in the show, here. Okay, and I made this point that I actually think was a relatively good point. that when they're writing these shows, one of the things they got to figure out is where are we going to start and end each episode? Well, it makes, since the story is about Dunk and Egg, it makes sense to end the first episode with them teaming up, basically.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think they chose to throw the other stuff before that, because it's still, it doesn't necessarily, all it has to do is be before a specific event in the story. It doesn't really matter if it's day 1 or day 4, as long as before this event. So as long as you keep that pace and that kind of flow of narrative, you've got a lot of give and take on where you put certain things.
Yeah.
One point, and I've got it up on a screen over here that I'm looking at as we kind of go through this. But one of the things that I think is really funny is that scene where Darren drops the coin, the copper, on the table for the barmaid. They zoom in on the Targaryen sigil. And I think they did that on purpose, not to let us know that it was Darren, but to give a big old middle finger to Dan and Dave, because this is a 2-legged dragon, which is what the Targaryen sigil is.
Yeah, and they put 4 legs on it.
And they did 4 legs in Game of Thrones. And that's one of the things that really pissed George off.
Yeah.
So I think Ira, is doing everything he can to tell George, I'm your man.
Stay in the good graces.
I'm gonna do what you want. Let's do this. We're gonna, and reports came out today that George has given him these outlines for 12 more Dunk and Egg stories.
Wow.
All leading up to what happens in Summerhall. So I mean, we could get 20 more years of this stuff.
That's crazy.
Which would be
That's
great.
great. I mean, they already got a second season, and
I'd be 50.
And that was locked in before the first season was even released. So
yeah,
it's got to be good for that kind of stuff to happen.
The other thing that you might have missed, Darren is one of the seers. So when he says,
he's
"I
like
dreamed
a visionary,"
he's got the sight. So he dreams now. What does he dream? I think he dreams of what happens at Summerhall.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for a different day.
Okay. So we've got Egg and Dunk. They're encountering. Egg's asking him to take him to Ashford.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of blows him off.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
And then makes his way into Ashford. Then we have Dunk looking around for the tournament master. Is that what he's called?
Yeah. So he's got to go master of the game. Something like that.
Master of the game.
He's got to go.
Hold on. Before we get into that, just want to acknowledge the chat there. There's my buddy.
Wicked. I got to say, I'm so sorry to hear about your head coach. I think that's the dumbest decision I've seen in the NFL this season.
Yeah.
That's got to be just. And then keeping the GM, who apparently is the actual problem over there, is bonkers.
And then Breezy said something interesting. Love how they basically confirmed that Dunk was indeed not knighted. We never know for sure in the book. I didn't get that. I thought he was trying to say, yes, I was. I mean, the look on his face was like, I'm lying, or how am I going to prove
he
this?
was. He's definitely knighted, and that's one of the. That is one of the lore pieces that Dan and Dave used in season 8 when they do the. If you heard the opening, you hear Jaime reciting the oath.
Yeah.
That's one of the lore pieces they took from other Westerosi stuff to put in there. Is that any knight can make a knight?
Yeah,
and it's pretty clear in the book, and for me it was pretty clear in the show. They just didn't, the master of the games just put such a bigger emphasis on real name knights, because
famous.
What's his name, famous knights, because
well known,
the guy at Ashford wanted real names, didn't want some peddling knight that was going to throw a bunch of trick shots out at the high lords in the games,
right?
And then
it's
steal
like
a bunch of money from them.
It's an event. If there's a well-known knight going to be there, it's going to draw a crowd. They're going to, get some notoriety at the tournament and stuff like that. So, Oh, there he is. X-Wing.
X-Wing says, another happy birthday to the man. I just saw the trailers for this show. Am I supposed to be excited? Because I'm definitely feeling a little excited. Be excited. Be excited.
Thank you, brother.
Who's
mine?
That's why I stopped, because I remember it was yours.
Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We hung out a little bit. I had a good time.
Good. I'm very happy. I'll get down there one day.
You need to, brother. You need to.
Yeah. I gotta get you to make me a drink.
Thank you, Breezy. That can be done.
Yeah.
You know what I want, especially doing these shows? I don't have it. I need a special cup. I want a horn, so I can have a horn of ale.
There was a during Game of Thrones, there was a brewery in New York, in upper New York, just by Cooperstown, called Amagang, that did a special beer, like 2 or 3 beers each season.
Yeah.
And some of them were really good. Some of them were not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But they unfortunately don't make them anymore, which sucks because they were delicious.
I'll look.
But they'd come in like big old wine bottle type beers.
I'll look around. If anybody in the chat knows where to find one, drop it. Let's go. And I have a PO box too, by the way. I'm just saying. X-Wing says guy makes an insane whiskey sour. We had a whiskey sour off. Like he made one, I made one, and
so whose was the best?
We did a little comparison. They both were good.
It's okay if it was yours.
I like mine a little better. I'm just saying. They all needed. Well, if I'm going to be honest, they both needed some tweaks. Even mine. He's just saying that because it's my birthday. They both need a little tweaks, but I think together we can make the perfect one.
So one of the things that I really enjoyed is because it's such a smaller universe in this show. I feel like they're able to do so much more practically instead of relying on volume, green screen, stuff like that. And there's really only one shot during the entire thing that I go, oh, that's a little small. But everything else, like there's that one scene where he's walking past, like he's in the background on the horse walking past everything. And you see all the people busy grabbing the fish and putting it in their stall, making sure the haystacks are there. Everything looks like kind of what you would expect a day or two before a tournament starts. You got all the townsfolk, because that's what one of these things were supposed to be. Not only were they games and entertainment for the people, not only were they chances for sons and second sons during peacetime to show their prowess, gain notoriety and all this stuff, but they were opportunities for the small folk to earn more money. They were opportunities to enrich the land. That's one of the reasons why these lords would put up such large bounties. First place in the second or third episode of Game of Thrones, we find out that the purse for first place is going to be like 100,000 coins, and that's all so that they can get as many of these great knights into King's Landing to partake in the tournament, so that they can throw a bunch of coin to these small folk. Like that, it was the economy of the era. And I love seeing this kind of stuff look real. Like everything through the backgrounds, through what they're wearing, everything looked legit to me.
Yeah, I was really impressed with all that. I mean, it looked really good. The only if I really had to pick it apart, it was just the pacing for me, because it's just what we're so used to.
Yeah.
But now he goes in and he's seeing the tournament. Master of the games. Yeah. Master of the games. Yeah, I gotta get all this terminology down, man. And the guy's looking at him like, who are you? Like,
Mhm.
never heard of you, never seen you before. I don't know who you are. What are you trying to do here? And he's like, I want to get into the tournament. And they have like what are you even a knight? And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I am. And then he's like, okay, who are the witnesses there that can vouch
Mhm.
for you?
Yeah.
And the look on his face is like, nobody, but I know he did. He knighted me, he
Yeah.
promised, that type
So
of.
the way that it was usually done, and he says it in the book, the Master of the Games. So knights took oaths on the seven gods, the new
Yeah.
gods that are down south of the neck, and that's one of the reasons why we don't see any Starks that are knights, because
They
the
follow
Starks
the old
keep
gods.
the Starks keep the old gods. So, which is why there are no Starks in the intro, which sucks because I like my Starks. But so they keep the old gods. So what the master says in the book, at least, is that there really should have been a septum there to administer your actual oath.
Right.
But what this guy is clearly trying to do, and obviously on the orders of his master, is making sure that there aren't any like hedge knights or penny knights that are going to usurp the big names, because you've got princes of the realm that are there that could be partaking. So that's what Arian is. Arian's coming down to partake in the games, and they don't want anyone risking the prince's neck. So that I think is, they do a really good job of kind of making this seem like an elitist thing.
Yeah.
And that the landed gentry are doing what they can to keep Dunk out of this.
Yeah.
But then we get that glimmer of hope.
In order to prove it, though, they come to this understanding that he's got to go speak with. This is what I need you to explain to me. He's got to go talk to some guy to vouch for him. What's this relationship?
So Dundarian,
or like, Dundarian.
Yeah. So Dundarian, which Dundarian was it? Sir Manfred. So Manfred's father is Lord Dundarian. He's the senior Dundarian, and he is Arlen was in his household for a little while. Probably, I think it's about a year earlier, and he fought for Dundarian. And so Dunk has this preconceived notion that these men are good people and that they care about everyone that they are basically connected with. And so, all the knights, because they're knights, they must be good people. And so he just naturally assumes that, Arlen took an arrow in your father's service. You'll remember him. And that's why that moment where he finally gets to meet Dundarian and say, hey, I need you to vouch for me. He goes, I don't know who you are. My father took 800 men into those woods, and I've forgotten people that took more than a single arrow.
That jumps ahead. So he goes to try to find him, and everything.
Yeah.
He meets these women. Are these like? Is there like
whores.
A makeshift brothel that's
happening?
They're
whores. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And they're like, he's sleeping. I guess they just had a meeting.
They tired him out.
Yeah.
Well, he's also apparently got gouty toes. So
which
even
means,
in Westeros,
like, your toes are like going.
No, it's like, gout. It's you got like bone spurs in your toes, isn't that
right? Doesn't that make them like crooked and gnarled? And
I have no idea what it does.
Gross.
I know it's what Benjamin Franklin had.
Gout.
That's all I know about gout. It's gout is like the wine disease. If you drink a lot of wine and have like a lavish lifestyle, you end up with gout.
What?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I mean, yes, but I think it's because it's a contributing factor and not the cause of. So, like, the assumption is if you drink a lot of wine, you probably just kind of have a laissez-faire attitude to life. But I would say you probably don't have a laissez-faire attitude to life. And you probably aren't going to end up with gout.
I hope not. That sounds gross.
He used to be an adventurer, then he took an arrow to the knee. Do you get it?
No.
It's
Should I?
Yeah, it's fuck.
I don't get anything Hokie says. He doesn't talk to me.
Life of Brian. Monty Python. It's Monty Python.
Oh, you mean the
Oh, no, it's not. It's the Skyrim guard.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Monty Python. I'm like,
I was thinking of Tis
I'm
But
like
a
the
Scratch.
Holy Grail. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
yeah.
Man.
I was thinking of Tis But a Scratch.
Another one I didn't get. X-Wing threw one at me the other day, and I'm like, huh? And now there's another one. Man. Anyway, moving on. So the guy's sleeping. Dondarrion is sleeping, and he starts walking around, I guess, the tournament area.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs into this knight who's just like beating up.
Beating the shit out of his cousin.
Yeah,
just absolutely crushing him.
This is Fossaway, Sir Stefan Fossaway.
Mm-hmm.
Which is this a new family? Are we getting a new sigil?
So we've seen the Fossaways before.
Okay.
We've seen them, I think, in both Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. I believe the Fossaways. So we've seen Dondarrion because Beric Dondarrion.
Yeah, I remember Dondarrion. He was the
Ned
fiery
sent
sword.
Into but no. Beric. Well, at the end, Beric Dondarrion was sent by Ned to go get Gregor Clegane.
The mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, and then teamed up with Thoros of Myr to form the Brotherhood Without Banners.
Yeah,
Thoros of Myr for the longest time was the one with the flaming sword, and then Beric took
it over. Yeah.
So
he's beating the doo-doo out of his cousin. So he's just like an angry, salty
Edward.
guy.
Edward is the senior member of the Fossaways. Raymond, who is the one that's being beaten on, is the lesser leg of the house.
Weakest.
So cousins. And I'll tell you, I was really kind of hoping we were going to get a fight there. I was really hoping that we were going to see
some action.
Dunk. Yeah. And now I didn't really think Dunk was going to get up there and just beat the crap out of Stefan.
Yeah.
But I was kind of hoping we'd get some swinging swords or something. But we didn't.
But what happens next, though, we get Dunk's butt.
Yeah.
Because then I guess he smells.
Oh, I mean, probably. He's been riding a horse for like 3 or 4 weeks.
And then he finds a river and he strips down and he's like,
so he finds his pavilion. And you're gonna see that tree again. I'll just say that.
He's cleaning his, but then he's doing something really kind of funny. He's beating the crap out of his pants.
Yeah.
Like he's naked and then he's just throwing his clothes against the rock, and I don't know what. I think he's just trying to beat the smell out of his clothes.
Yeah, he's trying to get the dirt out of both, like, off the legs of his pants. He's trying to get the crap out of the. He's trying to clean the what's the terrible word for him? The something tracks.
The what?
You never heard of that?
Here's another one. Here's another one I don't get. Too old for this stuff. So Breezy says to dry them off, I think. Perhaps, but he smells them after, so it's not like he's feeling them to see
skid marks. Skid marks.
Oh, that I've heard.
Yeah,
before.
yeah. He's trying to get the skid marks out of his pants. Yeah. But yeah, he gets this. He finds his beautiful pavilion.
I figured it was like wiener cheese or something like that.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean, he's beating the tar out of him like.
And yeah, he finally gets he makes his way back, and so we see our first pair of boobs.
Yeah,
and I thought she was dead.
So that is the big question of the episode. What is happening? That's why I asked a bit ago, was this a makeshift brothel? Because now,
oh yeah, it's
those women, those women, prostitutes are in now this what appears to be a very luxurious tent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's decorated. Like I think there's tapestries and stuff all over the place. And there's a woman laying dead on the bed, or what appears to be deceased. Candles around or whatever, and then all of a sudden she picks her head up and has a line, and you're like, okay, what are they preparing her for? Is somebody got some sick fetish?
I'm thinking Dondarrion's got a sick fetish
that he wants to like bang a dead. I don't want to say too much, but watch the episode and you'll understand what I'm talking about here. But man,
then, what's cool is we go from that to the center point of the tale, and we see I forgot how to say her name. Tansla? Is that how you say her name? Tansel. So she's the storyteller with these dragons.
There's a play going on.
There's a play going on. And these dragons, I loved how they did the dragons. They did them so much better than they did in Game of Thrones, where they were basically just a dragon head on a stick.
Yeah.
You were But this is like really neat shit.
Yeah. They were really cool. If you just looked at them for a quick second, you would think that oh wait, they do have dragons here. Yeah.
Exactly. For like half a second, I was like, hang on a second. Oh, right, they're puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And then I think so one of the things that I think concerned a lot of people when they started doing casting for the show is when they announced the casting call for Dunk, it said a person of any race. And I think there were a lot of people slightly concerned that they were just going to go with a black actor. Yeah. And, so that they could check that mark. Now, from what I remember, there's no specific description of Dunk except for tall. So he could, by all means be black or dark skinned or anything like that.
Right.
And then they announced Tansel, who I believe is supposed to be also from the slums of King's Landing, so could also look in any sort of way. But I think they've nailed this casting for her, because I had a similar concern when they announced who the actress was, that this is the token black character. Yeah. This is they're checking the box here. And this is going to be when something kicks off later, it's going to be about her being dark skinned or something. But obviously, I don't even think we have any dialogue from her outside of the play. But I think they've nailed the thing, because Dunk is supposed to basically fall in love with her the second he sees her. And it's not like a lust love, or I wouldn't even really call it a romantic love. It's just this is a person that needs to be protected.
Yeah.
And
bit of an infatuation,
infatuation is a great way of describing it.
Yeah.
And I think they nailed that whole, because you don't get a lot of opportunities to create that connection. And I think they did a very good job of doing that. It reminds me of the behind the scenes of The Two Towers, where Miranda Otto was doing an interview, and she was like, hang on a second. Because she went to see the movie, or the first one, knowing that she was going to be playing Eowyn. And she was like, hang on a second. I'm supposed to fall in love with this guy? Oh, this is going to be so easy. And I get that feeling here that they've nailed this casting to the point that any sort of relationship, whether or not it's they do a romantic thing or whether or not they do it just on this, like, this is a person that needs to be protected, I'll believe it. I'm not gonna count it out at all.
So we're definitely gonna get a lot more from her as the season progresses. And then from there, there's the banquet. We make our way into the banquet.
We meet a Baratheon.
That brings me to a question for you to see if this is what happens in the books, because when I found out he was a Baratheon, well, I was not expecting a Baratheon to be like him. He seems to be scrawny. He's wearing a giant like crown, look a little Loki-ish.
Yeah. You know what? That's the exact same thought that I had when I saw the picture of it, 3 months ago. I was like, this looks kind of like Loki's crown.
And he was a bit flamboyant. And I know in that family that kind of stuff is frowned upon because Renly kept it such a big secret.
It's frowned upon in the kingdoms. Like it's not really accepted anywhere. They know people do it, and if of any of the places it's accepted in Dorne because they're
they just go all out.
Yeah. But I thought that that Baratheon did a very good job. So Lionel Baratheon, the Laughing Storm, is so he's the Lord of Storm's End, like he's the head. This is not some like second son. This guy would have been the king of Storm, the Storm King, 200 years earlier.
Yeah.
The only issue that I have, he's not tall enough, and I think that's why they made the crown as they did. He's supposed to be a head taller than Dunk.
Oh, really?
He's supposed to be like 6'11".
Wow.
Sorry, no. So he's not supposed to be taller than Dunk. He's supposed to be almost as tall as Dunk.
Okay.
But again, I do feel like that's kind of why they made this giant crown of his. Now, there's art of him having this like crazy horn crown stuff, but I do think it works to make him feel a little more powerful.
Yeah.
Because you're right, this is very flamboyant, especially when they're like dancing together.
Yeah, it definitely felt kind of gay.
Yeah, very.
Robert would not be having this.
No, Robert would not. Well, it's kind of funny. There were people talking about they were taking the Targaryen saying that they do the same with the Baratheons. We've only seen 5 Baratheons, that they're either gay, drunkards, or both. If it's saying that Lionel is a gay drunkard. But there isn't a lot described about him. He's got this huge habit of like laughing very loudly. That's why they call him the Laughing Storm.
Yeah.
And he's a great friend to the small folk. So I think since Dunk is as well, I think this is going to be kind of the beginning of. I'm trying not to give too much away,
but there's definitely going to be a connection between the two.
Yes.
And there was some extensive dialogue going on and some stuff happening in that scene, which kind of I was just like, I'm not sure where this is going to go.
Well, and Daniel Ings did an incredible job of playing that guy.
Yeah.
Like I just want to see more of it. I can't wait to see him in actual combat.
So they're at the banquet, and then they're doing some interesting dancing and carrying on.
Well, I tell
Sorry,
you,
I'm eating gummy bears.
I was kind of expecting while Dunk was making the noise during the quiet moment.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting Lionel to just kind of go, "Who's making so much noise?" and finally, like, get him. But no, they saved that. And then a huge part of this, I think I'm gonna look right now. So where he gets into the tent at 25 minutes, and then they're there together. Like he
almost
finally
for the rest of the
meets.
show.
Yeah, he finally runs into Dendarian at 34 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
So they're almost 10 minutes.
Yeah, like I said,
That-
there's some extensive stuff going on here, some dialogue and everything. And then we even see, like, you could tell they've been partying for a good while. Even still, like, they have the majority of the episode. They've been partying for a while because now Dunk's wearing the crown.
Yeah, which was quite funny.
You could tell they've been drinking and they're tired from all the dancing and partying and whatever. So there's definitely a connection there. I was like, man, is this gonna go gay like right out of like right away here? What are we doing? I don't know these characters yet. But yeah, they finish up at the banquet. And then he still hasn't ran into Manfred.
Yes,
Sir Manfred Dundarian. So he's like, because the girl said, come back later tonight.
Yeah.
He'll be well rested. So,
and then he sees him. He sees him from from the tent and chases after him. And that's kind of where I got to earlier, where I was like, it's this is the moment where Duck realizes knights are not as great people as he thought they were. That that what Arlen has taught him and what he's kind of grown up believing about knights and these landed gentry, and that they are there for the protection of the small folk, and they're there to be righteous and honor their oaths as a knight, that none of them really do.
Yeah.
And I think this is really this is kind of the growing up moment for Dunk, that that Peter plays this moment beautifully, that he's just kind of like, oh, you are not the person that I thought you were, which of course at least for me would probably make him rather angry, considering that his master took an arrow for his father.
Right.
I said it just for you, buddy. Landed gentry.
Manfred just looks like a slime.
He's a
spoiled.
He's a man whore. Yeah, he's a man whore.
Yeah. So he gets disappointed in his conversation with Manfred. So he has still not been vouched for as a knight yet.
Yeah.
And so then he makes his way back to his camp. And he runs into Egg again. And Egg is just like taking over at the camp. He's actually set it up, right? He's done his
job as a squire.
Yeah. So Dunk comes in and he's like, what the heck is going on here? And this is when they connect and I guess agree to have this knight squire relationship. And at the end of the episode, you see them, I guess, lying under the stars, just having their little conversation, and finally, I guess, nod off and get some sleep.
Yeah, the luck is theirs alone. Yep. So overall, where are you on the show right now? Are you? This is going to be great.
Ruling is still out on that just because of the pace, and my expectations were not met just because of what we've been used to with Game of Thrones. But I'm still in. I'm very interested in these characters. I thought the development of characters went really well. I know a lot more about them and how their mannerisms are. Egg's just this little witty little kid that's like, this is what I want to do, and ultimately you knew they were going to end up being a knight and squire.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone didn't know that, you didn't really pay any attention to anything.
Right. So you knew that was coming. But I want to see him in action. If he's a knight, I want to see him swing the sword. So I'm in it.
Yep.
I want to see some action now. So yeah, I'm still with it. I'm not going anywhere. It's Game of Thrones, man. Come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's I'm really enjoying it. The only thing that I'm not happy about is that we do have very small, very short runtime episodes.
Yeah.
The rest of the season, nothing breaks 35 minutes.
Yeah, they are short episodes. That is disappointing as well. But if it's good, they're gonna keep going with it. So,
and the thing that's really annoying is we were told that this first episode was 47 minutes. That's the entirety of the runtime of the episode, not the story. So it's a little bit the same thing the same issue that I have with Disney and their runtimes is they give you the entirety of the
behind the scenes, extra footage,
and remember trailer. One of the things that Disney does is they throw in like 4 minutes of French, Spanish, Taiwanese credits that you can't skip.
Yeah.
So they get those extra minutes times, the 20 people that watch their shit.
Yeah. Hokey says, how many episodes in this season? There's 6, I believe. 6 episodes.
6, yep.
These are short stories. If you're not familiar, we talked about this last week. These are like short stories, little side stories off the main Game of Thrones, I guess, lore or whatever. But these are just little novellas. Is that how you say
that?
That?
So each, which is weird to me because I feel like short story is a fine enough term. But I guess they're a little bit longer than a short story. Hence the term novella. But they ramp up. And the thing that's nice is that they have to teach us a bunch of people, but a couple of these people are going to be with us for however long this show runs.
Right.
So, season 2, I don't think it's going to be as slow. I think I also don't really remember the story of season 2.
The concern I'd have is Egg. Is he going to grow up to be big and tall? And he won't be able to play the role.
Yeah, I honestly,
unless he's related to Maisie Williams, and you just eat a lot, but you just don't grow.
What would surprise me is if they recast for a younger Egg and then use Dexter's his name, isn't it?
The kid that's playing
Egg? Dexter Ansel.
Yeah, Dexter.
Use him for later seasons when he ages out of the Egg that we have right now.
Yeah.
That's something that I think would be pretty cool. I'd love to see them bring back some of the actors like Harry Lloyd. So Harry Lloyd actually narrates or reads the audio version of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And if you haven't read it yet, Lee, I recommend you read it, man. After we finish this, like I said at the beginning, the only issue I've seen so far is that they take things like the second night in the second NIGHT, the second night of the story happens. Egg becomes his squire during the second night, whereas in this show, Egg becomes his squire on the third night. So doesn't really change anything. Everything's still there. They just making him the squire is the logical ending to episode 1.
Okay.
So they have to fill other stuff. So they take stuff that happens during day 3 and they take stuff that happens during day 3 and put it before night 3. Which is fine. I don't really have an issue with it. Everything has flowed. Everything's been right so far. It's just slightly been out of order.
Okay. I'm in. Excuse me. I'm in. I'm looking forward to the next episode. Now, do we know if it starts at 10 o'clock again? Because that threw me off a little bit too. But there was NFL football going on. They were crazy games. So maybe they pushed it for that. But we're used to having the Game of Thrones shows start at 9 on Sunday nights. But This one kicked off at 10. But I don't know what's.
I
know if
don't
it's same time
see
next Sunday.
anything. Night of Kingdoms episode 2 release time. I hope so. So it does say 10 p.m.
All right, that's
for
probably going to
episode
be the
2.
norm for the season.
So it's 10 p.m. for next week, and then it looks like it reverts back to 9 p.m. Going forward.
It's got to be football.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Okay.
Let's see. And then I assume Super Bowl is February 15th. So it's going at 10 p.m. that day. But yeah. Oh, here we go. We got a release schedule. 10. Oh, okay. This says 10 p.m. every single episode.
All right.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate. So the next episode is called Hard Salt Beef. There's multiple meanings there. I'll leave you with that.
Remember, I haven't seen the trailer, the previews, the trailer for episode 2. So I'm just gonna let it play out. Yeah, I'm with it. It's good recap. Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you all for being here. Lee, are you playing tonight?
I am. I'm streaming with Wicked tonight. I don't even know what we're playing. She's probably gonna be mad at me. Like,
have you
supposed to tell her earlier today?
Have you set up your stream yet?
I haven't even done that yet.
Oh my gosh. You're supposed to do that before we start this so that I can raid you.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
So disappointed.
I'll try to do better next week.
Well, I'm going to raid Isaac. Your brother's over there selling his book.
Yes.
They are at
Daughter's Revenge.
1,154.
Look at that.
$40,000 more dollars, and Eric wears a pirate costume at MegaCon. Is that what it is?
And he's been like dressed as a pirate on his streams too.
Yeah. That's so funny.
So yes, I am gaming tonight over on my channel, and I think she's going to stream as well. She hasn't told me otherwise, but the Gentleman's Lounge.
Yep.
You can look for me and Wicked over there. Be playing for a little bit.
Other than that, guys, y'all have a great night. Everyone, see you. We do not have a Legally Speaking tomorrow morning. We might have one tomorrow afternoon. A lot happened over the weekend that I kind of want to rant and rave about. So we'll see what happens. I got my interview tomorrow morning at 10.
Good luck with that for sure.
So, yeah, prayers, everything you got, I'll appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have a great night, and yeah, we're just gonna pull a J and end it in the middle.